This is the strangest Land Cruiser I've ever seen. It wasn't even sold in North America. Let's take a look at this Land Cruiser and what's wrong with it. This is a 1999 Toyota Land Cruiser VX Limited. And it is from the Japanese market only. It's not a North American or US sold model. Obviously it's right-hand drive. This customer came from the Kansas City area. They went to several shops in the area, and as soon as they found out that it was a Japanese only model, like sold in Japan, not in North America, and it's right-hand drive, they kept hearing a reoccurring response. Nope, nope, and hell no. They said, don't even bring it, bro. We're not even touching it. I don't know what's so scary about it. We'll find out what's wrong and show you what we're going to do. But before we do that, this thing has a lot of differences from a 99 Land Cruiser that here in North America we're used to. Let's take a look around this thing. This thing really doesn't even look like a Land Cruiser with all these ground effects kit and different things. I'm not sure if this is stock. And throughout this video, guys, I'm going to go to you guys for help because I have questions myself. You guys get to answer this time. Look at this strange mirror, Mrs. Wizard.
This has got to be one of the oddest things I've seen. I thought it was aftermarket.
It looks like a bug eye or something. It's kind of interesting. But these wheels, are these stock? Did that come from the Japanese market or are they aftermarket? I don't know. You guys can let us know in the comment section. They don't appear to be stock, but they could be. Looks like a funhouse mirror, Mrs. Wizard.
It does. Oh my gosh, I look like I'm 3'5".
Has these chrome mirror caps, and then down here we have something I've never seen on a Land Cruiser, these running boards. They look cool, they really add to the car, but I'm not sure if that would be good in off-roading. As we come around to the corner of these taillights, guys, I've never seen Land Cruiser taillights like that. Again, is this aftermarket, or is this way stock in the Japanese market? Here we can see it says VX Limited. That's definitely not a North American trim level. One thing that makes me think this could be stock wheels is that it has a fifth spare wheel that's identical to the others. Usually people don't even buy those. Again, you guys can let me know. But it does have a really cool way to detach it and move it out of the way. A little pull handle. And there you go. Very, very handy, very easy to operate. And it has a spoiler above the rear hatch with a third brake light in it. I don't know if that's stock either. Really cool vehicle. I love the black color. It's shiny. It's been taken care of. You can tell it's in good shape. Let's jump under the hood. I know owning a car costs a lot, especially a non-market car like this where parts can be hard to find. Definitely could be a scenario. I'm frequently shocked at how much parts have gone up in the last few years. What if you weren't just spending money fixing your car, you are also investing? Today we've partnered with Gemini to showcase the Bitcoin credit card, the only instant Bitcoin rewards credit card. I know you're thinking, really, a Bitcoin credit card? Yeah. The Bitcoin credit card is an easy way to get into the Bitcoin market without ever having to buy it. All you have to do is just swipe the Gemini credit card just like you normally would and earn Bitcoin back instead of points or miles. It's perfect for car enthusiasts. It gives 4% back on gas and transportation, spending up to $300 a month in Bitcoin or any of the other 50+ crypto Gemini offers. You invest every time you fill up. It also gives 3% back on dining, 2% on groceries, and 1% on everything else. Bitcoin rewards earned and held for 1 year on a Gemini credit card have appreciated 176% on average. You're investing as you spend. Truly a no-brainer. To sign up for the Gemini credit card, head to gemini.com/carwizard and get $200 in Bitcoin when you spend $3,000 in your first 90 days. Plus, you can see if you're eligible with no impact to your credit score. Just click the link or go to gemini.com/carwizard to apply and start earning instantly. Now back to this weird Land Cruiser. So this is not a 1UZ FE, this is a 2UZ FE. 4700 V8 it says on the engine cover. Everything's pretty much similar to what you would expect on a Land Cruiser. One thing that's different where we expect to see a brake booster is our AC lines and some heater hoses and things of that nature. It's on the other side, and that's where our problem lies. You can see that it's wet all through here, and there's multiple different areas where this thing is starting to leak. It also has some internal failures going on. It has a very spongy, soft brake pedal. One of the things you get into, especially if you take on a Japanese market vehicle or any other country out there in an American shop, is think about emissions. The standards we expect or demand here in America by law for the federal government is not going to match up to what this has, very likely. If you look at wiring diagrams, emissions diagrams, you will start coming up short and you'll see this doesn't match, that doesn't add up. And you start looking at data around the car, you say, I want to look up, well, you know, some emissions data or different things, and you look at the placards, you run into trouble unless you can speak Japanese or translate it. In an English car, this would obviously be in English, but I don't know what any of that says. There are various little decals and placards all over this car. I don't know what they say. If you're looking for data on those, you're just going to be out of luck, unless you can read Japanese, which I cannot. Luckily, the only concern we have is with the brake system. It's ABS, brake booster, everything all in one unit. Master cylinder as well, which is a common Toyota design. Before we dive into what we found with that and what we're going to do about it, let's let Mrs. Wizard show you guys around the interior. There's some serious differences in there as well.
There you have it. 162,270 kilometers are on this vehicle because, as you note there on that speedometer, kilometers per hour. So, I'll let you do that conversion. You can do the math in that part. But the rest of the dash is looking pretty good. The one thing that is going to be most different right here is we're on what we would call the passenger side, because this is a right-hand drive vehicle. So other than that is what we would call in America on the wrong side. Okay, that's the first thing. The dash is in really nice condition. As we look at our passenger side, we have some wood accents around that vent. We have some wood accents on our door card as well. And we see a few items removed to get access to a few items in our footwell. But we have a very large glove box where we would have had our steering wheel. We move to our center section, more wood accents, and you can see that we have an aftermarket Kenwood stereo there. Looks like it can even be pulled out slightly, and you can see it is also written in Japanese. As we move back, you'll see that a lot of the gauges there are written in English, so not so sure what was going on there. We see a lovely gear selector here, and this is not a standard gear selector for what we would normally see in a Land Cruiser in America with the chrome and the wood accents. Here's what it would have normally have looked like in an American released version. We can see we have our range selector for our four-wheel drive system. We have a small little spot here for our ashtray. And on the other side, we have our spot for aux cords or cigarette lighters and whatnot. As we move back, looks like we are missing maybe a cover that would have gone over this cup holder, but other than me showing it to you, you probably would not have noticed. It is very minimal in what could be wrong with the car. As we move to our center section, we can see we have a very large cavernous area, and that's where they keep their registration for their car. I would show more of the seat, but it does have some of those access panels on it, and it's a little bit of paperwork there. But you can see that it does have cloth interior, and that is very common for the Japanese market because they appreciate cloth seats far more than they appreciate leather seats, as we do in the United States and many European countries as well. The back seat is in really good condition as well. Looks like it has a 30% split there. It looks like it can split right between the passenger and between that middle seat as well. Armrest is nestled in between that middle section. That's for the person sitting on the hump. The roof is looking very nice. No marks, nothing going on. We do have the shade pulled back to give a little bit more light in here for us to see today. And as we come down from our roof, we'll see we've got normal lighting and an aftermarket innovative. Maybe this is a backup camera, I'm guessing. Maybe you guys can let me know what you guys think it is, but it would have been a nice way to add another accessory to where the sunglasses holder would have been. As we get back to our steering wheel, nothing is looking terribly different than what we're used to seeing in a normal Toyota. We do have a stock back there written in English again for our cruise control, but we do have one item back under here, and it looks like it's got a slot for a card, and we can push a button.
What? Did that say something about my mom, Mrs. Wizard?
I doubt that. This is apparently something to do with a parking or toll booths or something, but maybe you guys out there can put in the comments what?
What's it saying, guys?
Yeah, what is she saying there? So one more time. And on this button. A lot of mysteries are in this car, so maybe you guys can help us out on some of the things that are not in our wheelhouse. But let's get this on a lift and see what it looks like on the underneath.
Before we continue on, I want to take a quick second to remind you guys, if you ever wanted a piece of the Car Wizard shop, Mrs. Wizard uses pieces out of the shop and makes really nice artworks, or we call partworks. She's got an eBay auction going on now with a lot of our really nice pieces for sale. There's a link in the description. You want to go check those out. The auction ends August 20th, 2025. Don't miss out on that really great opportunity. So there's nothing really under here that's going to make it afraid to work on, or that's going to make it where it can't be worked on. Really, it's not going to be much different than a North American Land Cruiser underneath here, except for the steering components are going to be reversed. Maybe a few other things, but the rest should be pretty much the same. Let's take a look at this thing. Up in here is our condenser. Everything looks good. Again, with these Land Cruisers, they're very heavy built, no plastic. All metal. I do see a CV boot here that's slinging a little grease. I think that clamp just needs to be tightened is all that is, or a new clamp on it. Put some grease in there, it'll probably be fine. Brake pads are like 80% remaining. Sway bar link is good, nothing loose. Everything looks okay over here. We do see some wetness going on, and that's our brake booster. Our brake assembly up above is leaking fluid down here. Brakes are 80%. Sway bar link is good. Nothing loose there. So if the steering rack were bad on this vehicle, you cannot buy a North American steering rack because the steering wheel is over here. But on this vehicle, it's right here. So obviously it's going to be reversed, and you can't just switch it around. You have to buy the one designed for this vehicle. That would be a tough one. Here's our transmission. Everything is leak-free. Front drive shaft is good. Again, this is some of the things that are not going to be much different from a North American model. Drive shafts and transmission and things like that are going to be pretty much the same. I did mention that emissions can be a lot different. It does have catalytic converters that are on it, but do they meet North American standards? I don't know. If you had to replace these, would it be Japanese market or North American market? It might be kind of tough there. Those are some of the issues you could run into there. Here's our transfer case and drive shaft. Everything looks good, nothing's leaking. Here's our exhaust. It kind of goes two into one here into a resonator. Here's our rear axle. Again, I don't foresee anything being different back here from the two different markets. Our brakes are about 60 or 70% remaining. Shocks are not blown. Sway bar links are good. Nothing loose or leaking. Shocks are not blown. Brakes are 60-70%. Sway bar link is intact. Nothing loose or leaking there. One thing I like about the Japanese vehicles is their suspension systems are very heavy duty, especially on these types of models. They don't have 12 different arms going everywhere, control arms and things. This is a very stout, heavy duty axle. These Land Cruisers are used all over the world. They are very, very stout, very strong. So very heavy duty, nothing leaking from our differential. Again, we don't have to worry about the spare here because like we showed you a little bit ago, it's on the back of the vehicle. And definitely have some beefy tips. It doesn't look aftermarket. It looks like it came that way. Wow. That's kind of weird looking. So I asked you guys a question, are these wheels stock or are they aftermarket? Here's a good close-up of them so you can get a good view. Me personally, I have no idea. I'm relying on you guys on this one. Maybe these look like a design that you're familiar with here in the States. I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments what you think these things are. They could be from the States like I mentioned, but let's get this thing back on the ground. One thing that's nice about this situation is the customer provided their own part. It might be hard to source the right-hand drive Japan market brake assembly hydraulic unit. It's here, it's ready to go. We checked it out, it's the identical part. This customer actually mentioned to the places he went, he's like, look, I got the part, everything's ready to go, I just need you guys to put it on. And it's if he had the Black Plague or something. They're like, nope. Nope, get away. Don't come around. I actually had one shop say, don't even come into the parking lot. Don't come. It's just a Land Cruiser. I don't understand. Imagine if you were in the Sahara Desert or something with a Land Cruiser and maybe you had a North American one. You pulled up to a shop, it's broken, and they're like, no, we don't know it. We don't want anything to do with it. It's a liability. Get out. Goodbye. Don't come here. Come on, guys. Anyways, let's talk about what is this thing? What's all encompassed inside of this one solid brick? Right here we have an accumulator. This holds pressure that's in reserve for your power brakes. Down here we have an electric pump that does the pumping and brings it up to pressure. Here's where your brake pedal connects. When you hit the brakes, it pushes here. Here's our master cylinder. This is the reservoir. And here's your analog brake system, all built into the side with the control module, everything here ready to go, all one unit. This is getting to be more and more common. This is back in '99 they were doing this, but a lot of Toyotas and actually a lot of vehicles today, they are integrating all of it into one unit, and it just makes it so much easier, but it does not make it cheaper. If you need to replace just little pieces and parts here and there, how do you know that it's not internally failed? Or if you need to buy the whole assembly, it's not going to be 50 bucks. It's going to be 1, 2, or 3 grand. Depending on what brand you're looking at, it could be 5 grand, I don't know. But it's definitely not cheap. It's good for consolidating a lot of systems into one unit, but it's not good for your wallet. So when this came in this morning, I definitely checked it out. I've never seen a Japanese market Land Cruiser. It's got a really weird mirror over there, all kinds of cool stuff that's so much different than the North American ones. I'm not angry about it. I'm not putting up the cross and get away and stay back, Satan. I'm not doing that stuff. It's a Land Cruiser. One of the things we pride ourselves here at Omega is we work on pretty much everything. We work on a Honda Pilot, which I would hate life if that's all I did, is those all day, all the time. It would get boring. It's definitely not boring the way I've designed this shop. And over to the right, we have a Mach 1 Mustang, right beside my R8, which we will be doing a video here shortly on that, showing some wiring electrical issues. And then we have this Japanese market Land Cruiser. What comes through the door every day is a surprise, and it makes life worth living for me as far as work on cars. It's not boring. It's not rote. Another question I have for you guys is, obviously it's not a North American market model. It doesn't have OBD2 ports like we would think. I contacted Jared from the Questionable Garage, who was a certified master technician for Toyota and Lexus for many years. He gave me some ideas of where to look, and in those places I did not see an OBD port. I'm just concerned when we get this new ABS brake assembly module installed that it has to be programmed. He did verify it does not have to be programmed, but it just has to be bled and learned. There is a diagnostic port underneath the hood. It is not OBD2, so I may have to do some jumper wirings to the OBD2 dongle I have, which is not a big deal. We will get it figured out. But do you guys know of a place where there's an OBD2 port or OBD2 style port that's possibly on here? Because I have done some reading, and there are some of these models where they're in other markets, they do have one that's hidden under the dash. I don't want to tear apart the dash or go too far in it knowing it might be there only to find out that it's not. And you guys could let me know, don't do that, because it's not going to be there. So it definitely will help me out a lot. So another question I have is this strange looking mirror. From here I can see the front of the vehicle and also the side. Is it for watching pedestrians walking across, or what is the point of this mirror? It's really, really strange. Let me know in the comments. And the last question I have for you guys, since it's your turn to start answering questions. This ground effects kit, these running boards, this chrome mirrors, all these things, did it come from the factory that way? Or is this something that was added and it was painted to make it look really cool? It looks really strange. At first I was like, is that a Land Cruiser? Yeah, it is one. It's kind of deceiving at first. But it is a really, really cool vehicle regardless. I really like this thing. So I definitely wanted to get a video out to you guys to show you this really cool Land Cruiser. This customer was at their wit's end. They told me, Car Wizard, you're my last hope. I don't know what I'm going to do. I keep getting shunned like I have the plague. Like the one guy saying, don't even come to the parking lot. Don't come here. Wow, that's crazy. And I wanted to show you guys some of the differences between the North American and Japanese market. There's definitely some marked difference on this. Some of them are really kind of strange. If you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on this Land Cruiser, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. A lot of the tools we use in the shop are for sale there, and we get a small cut if you purchase anything there, and we really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, because just as you saw, we have a shop full of cars, which means tons of videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.